So to start, just state your name for the camera.
Melissa Kuzoian.
Give me one word to describe the state of the world right now.
The first word that came to mind was chaos. It just feels like, there's just a lot going on. It just feels like this year, so much of like the momentum of normal life was just like ripped away for so many people, and it's like the chaos of sort of trying to figure out what to do next. But I think it's good because I think it needs it's been like a good sort of breakdown, like moment of like pause where you can't really do anything and you have to sort of like reassess what to do next. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely been chaotic, stressful.
What challenges have you either been faced or overcome this year?
It's been really interesting because I feel like I'm sort of at the point in my life, just even before this happened, where like I just turned 30 and I'm like at this point where you just sort of start reflecting like, okay, like here I am at this point in my life and how did I get here? Like what has happened to me through like my whole life? Like why do I believe the things I believe? Why do I like do the things I do? Like all of these things. It's just like I feel like I actually turned 30 on the last day of the year. So like going into 2020, I was like in a period of reflection and like pause sort of. And then this happened and it was like overnight my whole routine had gotten just like ripped. It was like, okay, you don't like get up and go to work anymore. You don't get up and go to the gym. Like you can't see anyone. And it was almost like plunged me deeper into this like reflection sort of like state of mind, because I was like, who am I? Like I don't have my routine. Like if anything, I had like my daily like here's what my week is. I go to work, I do these things, and like even that was just taken away like literally overnight. So it's just been like a really interesting period to really like sit with myself a lot. I have a lot of time to sit with myself and just sort of reflect on like, okay, like take everything away, my job, like my friends, like who really am I, and like who do I want to be going forward. So it's been difficult, it's definitely been a roller coaster, but that's like the positive I'm trying to take, where it's like allowing me this time to reflect. And
How have you grown through or with these challenges as a person?
well, I'm definitely still growing. Depending on the week, I would give you a different answer, because growth is not linear. It's definitely been like back and forth, up and down. But I think, I think I didn't always appreciate or know how to be in my own company before this. Like it's funny, like I'm an introvert, but I get energy from like being with others too. Like people that I love, like a few, like just like my group of close friends. And so it's really allowed me to just like know myself better and be able to just like hang out with myself and like hang out with myself a little more than I think I would say last year. And just also giving myself room to be flexible and like change as we all change. Like every day it's like like you feel different every single day, and being able to like hear that and understand that and then respond accordingly, because now I work from home, so like I have the day can play out how I want it to, like if I wake up and I feel like diving right into work, I can do that. If I feel like waking up and just like having a quiet morning to myself and work later, I can do that. So just like sort of learning my needs and responding to them in a way that like I couldn't do when I had to get up and be at work by 9 a.m. every day.
If you are hopeful, what are you most hopeful for in 2021?
I think it's a little difficult to say because there is so much, like heavy is a really good word you just used, and that would be another word I would use to describe the world. And like I am like extremely blessed that I'm in this position to like do this self-reflection and have time to like really sit with myself and think, because there's just so much hardship and suffering going on right now as well. And I'm just hopeful that it's like, you know, you always hear it has to get worse before it gets better. Like everything has to just totally break before you can like build it back up, like Phoenix from the ashes. And so that is the hope that I see, is that because it just feels like it keeps getting worse and worse, like it can't happen forever. Like we have to turn at some point, and I am hopeful that eventually that will happen. I really hope it does.